The head that had been frozen for centuries instantly began to rot upon contact with air. The man pulled out a gun and precisely shot the old man standing in the center of the hall. Blood flowed along the carved lines, finally converging on the platform. The Demon King immediately picked up the severed head, using it as a goblet, and filled it to the brim. He took a long, satisfied sip before passing it to Margaret. The moment she finished drinking, her body went limp and she lost consciousness. The servants quickly carried her to a soft bed covered with flower petals. It turned out that this bloody ritual was nothing more than a test from the Demon King. To save her beloved boyfriend, Margaret was willing to become the demon's wife. As the new queen, she naturally had to receive the sinful souls of hell. From the gates of the underworld they slowly emerged. Those once terrifying skeletons now appeared dressed in fine garments. They knelt and reverently kissed Margaret's knees, praising the noble and wicked majesty of the Demon King. After the ceremony, the Demon King ordered his servants to present Margaret with a bottle of miraculous ointment. As soon as she applied it to her hands, her skin became crystal clear, and she appeared decades younger. Without hesitation, she took off her coat and rubbed the ointment all over her body. Then something extraordinary happened. Her body began to rise slowly into the air, turning completely invisible. The maid stood frozen in disbelief. Before she could recover, Margaret mounted a broomstick and flew out the window. By now she had mastered the kind of magic that others could only dream of. Even without the broom, she could soar freely across the sky. Margaret then flew to an apartment, grabbed a hammer, and smashed everything inside. Gracefully flying out the window, she shattered one more pane of glass before leaving. It turned out the apartment belonged to the very man responsible for sending her lover to prison. After completing her act of revenge, Margaret returned to the Demon King's palace. The demon promised that if she agreed to become his queen, he could grant her any wish she desired. When the ritual concluded, the demon and his attendants were already waiting at the dining table. He told her she had passed the test and could now make one wish. Margaret immediately wished to rescue her imprisoned lover. True to his word, the demon snapped his fingers, and in the next instant her boyfriend appeared behind her. But before long, a group of pursuing police officers burst through the doors. When they stormed into the room, they found only a talking black cat. Terrified, the officers opened fire wildly. The cat was hit and fell from the chandelier. As they threw out a net to catch it, the cat suddenly sprang back to life. The net touched the stove flame, igniting the natural gas the cat had released earlier. The explosion sent fire racing through the entire city. In the end, Margaret managed to save her lover, while the demon and his followers vanished without a trace. But when the scene shifted, her boyfriend was still shown locked inside a prison cell. It turned out that everything that had happened was merely part of the novel he was writing. In reality, he died behind bars, while Margaret, having drunk a cup of poisoned wine, lay peacefully on the sofa with his manuscript in her arms, her eyes closing forever. The film symbolizes that Margaret and her lover's fate was not one of victory, but of escape, a tragic end cloaked in illusion. It reveals that truth and love cannot survive under totalitarian rule. They can exist only beyond reality, in a realm where the spirit is free.